che le uguali non si trovano. La Vienna al Canada, la Vienna al Canada, la Vienna al Canada.
Yes, hello everyone. Shalom lechulam. My name is Ezra. In Hebrew it's the same. And I will sing Milio Aria, Vainement, bien-aimée, from the opera Le Roi d'Is by Lalo. It is my wedding day. Tonight I'm gonna marry Roseanne. No, really. In the opera, but thank you. Oh, thank you. It is my wedding day, thank you.
Welcome to Israel.
Yes.
He's getting married tonight?
Tonight. With Roseanne, and I'm going to see her right now, but there are guards who are not letting me see her, and I decided to sing a love song to her because I want to tell her that I love her so much and I can't wait even 1 minute more.
Puisqu'on a pu fléchir ces jalouses gardiennes, ah, laissez-moi compter mes peines et mon amour. Venez-moi, ma bien-aimée, oh, crois me désespérer, près de ta porte fermée, j'ai vu encore démirer. Les soleils pourront s'étendre, les nuits remplacer les jours, sans t'accuser, sans me plaindre. Là, je resterai toujours. Je laissé ton âme douce, elle bientôt viendra, où la main qui me repousse vers la mienne s'étendra. Ne sois pas trop tardive à te laisser attendrir. Si Roseanne bientôt n'arrive, je vais la mourir. Laisse mourir.
Have you sung this a lot? Often?
Kind of.
Mm-hmm. How old are you?
23.
23, fantastic. What I think we should look at is how the voice functions. Because you have a wonderful engagement with what you want to sing. But this, I don't know if you heard what we were talking about before, or what I was talking about before. This idea that every vowel we sing has every other vowel in it. And when I listen to you sing, I hear a wonderful arc of how you want to say the things, but I hear individual vowels and individual consonants. Too much. you know, which is a lot more work. I mean, just so much.
Yes.
Viene, viemo, viao. There's a kind of if all the vowels have each other vowel in them, you can look at it either like they're all vibrating in part of each other, or that one blossoms or comes out of the other. But there is something in every other vowel that you're going to sing that is already vibrating in what you're singing. So that sound, that is through the whole voice, right?
Okay.
So we want to just keep that track. If I look here at the beginning phrase, let's just go to the aria. Bien-aimée, bien-aimant, ma bien-aimée, on croit me désespérer. I don't move anything at all, right? I just go, I just want it all to be on that soupy, resonating line.
No
and
consonants.
I wouldn't worry about the consonants so much right now. Right now, I want to just get your voice working. I want to get a better idea of how you feel where your voice resonates. Do you feel it in your head, or do you feel it in your throat? Do you feel it in your chest? Where do you feel it the most?
It depends, I guess.
Depends. Do you feel it sometimes in your throat?
Yes.
That's not good. We really don't want to have that, right? And that's kind of what I'm going after here. I mean, I can't demonstrate so much. I'm not in great shape right now, so I can't. I'm certainly not going to sing a tenor aria. Bien-aimant, bien-aimant, ah. We don't want to do that. We want to release it into the resonance. Let's just try it. Let's not do it, Steve, right? How about 4 bars? Allegretto. Now, if you would breathe a little quicker, a little sooner and slower, so it doesn't become Viene, but actually hear it before you sing it. Bien-aimant, right?
Okay.
4 bars. 2. Yeah, and let the ma. I'm just going to keep doing this a little bit, just to irritate you.
Yes.
Let the ma be in the exact same place as the ma. Bien-aimant, ma bien-aimée, on croit me désespérer. Right? And instead of bien-aimant, ma ah.
Okay.
Look in the vowel ah that we sing is the round one. Like ame, fata, right? Sometimes, especially in the Italian repertoire, we think this vowel, the brighter ah, that's got a little bit more e on top of it, but I really wouldn't worry about that so much. Think of this. The ah and the o in your voice are the middle of the oo, and the oo is the length, and the e is the front of the oo. See, I'm already building a kind of imagery for you, right? So if we've got the whole voice is this ooh, ooh feeling, right? And the top of it is an ah. You know, if you go into a cathedral and you see the asp, and you've got that wonderful acoustic, right? Well, the symbol for ah in the International Phonetic Alphabet is exactly that. It's this, right? And the the release, is the top of every voice. And when they talk about vowel modification, we very often sing in our minds a pure vowel that is in a resonating room that is different or bigger or larger, right? And this is very important for a tenor especially in something like this, a sort of upper middle voice, because the A is coming, right? And the A has to be released up in there, right? But if you've got it anchored on bien-aimée, that's what's going to happen. Bien-aimée, very often when I'm looking at music, I want to make sure that A doesn't get pounded on. I'll put it A, and I'll put a circle around it, because I want it to remain in the tube, not A, but A, You hear the difference? Yes. This is how you're doing it right now, and I think there's so much. Your instinct to sing is so strong that I think if we just change a little bit in your mind of how it feels and thinks. But what I can tell you, however, is that as we're going to find a couple of places that really work, and you're going to remember those, okay. And you're going to teach the rest of your voice from those with your teacher, okay. Right? And you're going to write on your palm of your hand. You don't have to tattoo it, but you're going to write it in. I will not feel my voice in my throat. Okay? Deal. All right. Let's start again. Yeah. Let's see if we can find a. Yeah. I keep going back to the dongy just because dongy donga donga donga. Can you just see dongy dongy on this vowel?
Dongy dongy.
Yeah, dongy 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 dongy. 2 measures.
Dongy dongy dong. What?
Dongy donga donga dong.
Okay.
Yeah, just play with it. NG. This right. Sing the words exactly in that resonance. Don't. I know it's weird as hell, and I appreciate your courage. It's fantastic. Okay. You're smart. But let it be all of your voice. In other words, don't take care of the notes that are more difficult. It's not about Vienna. Oh, here we go. It's Vienna ma hey oh. You tend to go Viet, right? And that's where that's already stopping you, right? Vienna ma donga donga.
Okay.
Donga donga. Vienna ma. Vienna ma. Now, are you starting to feel a bit more resonance here? Yes. This is wonderful. If you have this zingy here and this open here, then you'll know what breath to take, right? I don't mean you to sing it harder or louder. I want you to sing it more constant, right? Okay. Do you understand the difference?
Yes, of
course. Right. 2 measures. Very good. 4 measures. Breathe early.
Okay.
And be there with exactly what you want, how it wants to sound before it sounds. Now, I can tell you, I know you're feeling like you're singing soup, right? But we have to start with that. We have to get this sound, we have to get your voice resonating. I don't want to have any less words than you had. I want them to be sung, however, and not spoken. You get that idea? So if you have all this, then you're obviously starting to think, okay, how can I get into the ma biana? Aha, ma b. Those are the lips. Neme is only n. N and NG and ND are your best friends. Look for them in your repertoire, in whatever language you're singing, right? Even in Hebrew, which I've sung, a beautiful language. The ch and the ch are a little bit different. All right, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Bien-aimée, ma bien-aimée, ma bien-aimée, ma bien-aimée, à toi me désespérer. We can even go to the second phrase. How would that be? Yeah, près de la porte, près. How you sing the près de ta, près de ta, porte. You know what I mean? Everything needs to be sung in the same long resonance. All right, let's start again. Work on yourself a little.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. You know, what would be great is just one time with me do this. Just go. Listen to me. Listen to my feet.
Okay.
And I'm not stomping. I'm releasing into the floor. Right? You do that. Yeah, very good. Yeah? Now, do it again. Do it again. Do your knees tingle?
My knees what?
Tingle. Can you feel them vibrate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
How about your hips?
I don't think so.
Let's do it again. Get it all the way up to your hip.
Yes.
There we go. Got it? Now, what we're going to do, a very famous teacher said, keep the ribs out of the hips. So the hips go down, the ribs go up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go leg vibrating, hips vibrating, stand up out of your hips. There you go. Now, can you sing like that?
Yes.
Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel like really round
Yes.
and right?
Open.
Can you just keep that feeling? This is the athletic side of what we do, folks. We physically make emotions audible. That's the yoga part here. That's what I meant about, to describe support is very simple, right? Keeping physically everything, seriously, the muscles, the intercostals, the whole thing, especially the rib cage, keeping them engaged as if you're still inhaling while you're singing, right? And you need to be anchored to do that. You can't do it this way. You can't do it this way. You can't do it. The reason I stopped you is because you move around a lot. The reason you move around so much is because you're looking for what we just found. You're looking for that core energy. I want you guys to sing moving or not moving depending on what you decide. That's what I'm after. If I see random gesticulation and movement in a singer, most of the time I feel like, poor thing, we're just not finding, where am I, right? And to know where that is, that's a very good start, you know? Your feet are 10 meters into the ground. All, you know, the diaphragm is right through here. It's kind of upside down here like this. All the digestive organs down here are stable and solid. And all of the breathing and living organs above the diaphragm are alive and volatile, manipulable, flexible, responsive, right? Anchor, responsive. Right, exactly. So we want to keep this anchored, tight-waisted, barrel-chested, open-throated, empty-headed. That's a singer, right? Yeah. Let's just start right, like just how you are. This is fantastic. Try to move. And what you're going to notice, I think, well, I'll let you go. What you're going to notice is probably you're going to take a nice, wonderful breath. You're going to go anchor. Don't. Keep the breath alive. Keep it buoyant. And let the anchor stay here. Bien-aimée, ma bien-aimée, bien-aimée.
Okay.
4 bars. Read quietly.
Ma bien-aimée, oh, toi, me désespéré, près de ta porte fermée, je veux accorder mes rêves.
Yeah, music, just you can think about it. I would not retard until the very bar that it's on. You tend to slow that whole last phrase down. I would run into the wall. It's a little bit more impetuous with the love, right? As if you catch your thought, but that's another thought, right?
Okay.
Let me move your arms.
Okay.
Okay? Because I want you to feel the weight. You see what happens when I do that? You feel what's happening here? That's the inhaling muscles. Is this easier to sing?
Yes.
Is this not more interesting? Hello? Let's go on. Now, think of up bow. Just before it was a wonderful, you took a nice breath, still a little bit late, but if you actually would lift all of inside of you and hear that wonderful phrase you're about to sing, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Right? It's like an up bow, and everything will lift inside of you. Don't get caught into taking a breath and parking it someplace.
Okay.
Right? One more time, just 2 bars. Breathe.
Le soleil pour se tendre, les nuits remplaçaient les jours.
That was very good. Now, when we really start to sing, we learn about resonance through the recognition of how vowels function. We know how the vowel O works in the top of our voice. But as we get to be singers, the vowel that is being sung is independent of what I call the house of resonance that stays constant, right? And this was wonderful, but it was all driven by just the vowels themselves. So let's just get that resonance space that is more in the ew and keep it through the entire phrase. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, good. What?
What do you mean?
What do I mean? What I mean is it when you go up here, la nuit remplaçait les jours. What I hear is I hear a very beautiful nuit. I hear a very beautiful a and an e and an on and an a and a c. And what I want you to find is what is the common resonating sound regardless of that. That's what I mean. That's the house of resonance. So we have la nuit remplacée and not la nuit remplacée. In my octave, do you hear what I'm saying?
I think so.
Ra, ra. I would leave it in the oh.
Like.
Yes, exactly. And just leave that height and width that you have.
Okay.
Is this not easier to sing?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Same thing?
Le soleil pour rose tendre, les nuits remplaçaient les jours. S'attaquaient,
Partige. You know, it's behind the nose. It's the nasal pharynx. Sometimes you let it fall into the back of the nose, and I know that's really secure. And why we all do that, but especially tenors, is because there's not enough airflow. And so it just feels more secure. But if you gave yourself more of this, what I'm starting to show how this works. What did that feel like when I did that?
Releasing?
Releasing. Wonderful. Well, let's keep doing that. Keep going.
s'attaquaient,
Breathe a
s'attaquaient.
little bit more, because I hear, breathe a little higher, nose and mouth. There you go.
S'attaquer ça me plaindre là je resterai toujours.
Wait, one more time. And this time you're going to sing not la la, you're going to sing la as the word love. La la. You're going to think ah, but you're going to sing la. Okay?
Okay.
You can do it.
La
No. Go back a phrase.
s'attaquer
Now you know where you are. Breathe into it.
s'attaquer ça me plaindre là je resterai
Okay.
toujours.
And what's magical is when we get and the oo is the same as the ah, right? So then you are toujours. Is this easier?
Yes, it's head.
Doesn't-
I guess it's heady, more.
It's more heady, but to me it has more substance. Did you sing la or la?
La, ah.
Did you sing ah or ah?
I don't know.
Well, we heard ah.
And you
That's
want?
my point. You can sing la because it's going to sound ah up there no matter what you do.
Okay.
So my point is to let the voice go into that room.
Okay. Let's try again.
Go on.
Ah, go on.
Now give yourself a whistle. Like I said, those two notes work really well. Right? La nuit, la nuit, was wonderful. Take those two memories, muscle memories and sound. Aha, I like how that worked. Didn't feel it here. All hooked up. Stay in it, right? All of you are very intelligent. You notice how, as we start talking and working, everything it drops, and we start getting our intellectual. Oh yes, I understand. Oh yeah, okay, I can work on that. As a singer, your place is always here.
Okay.
Right? Chest is high, you're anchored down, right? And just stay in there, right? Go on.
Je le sais.
Too late.
Je le sais. Je le sais.
Breathe.
Je le sais, ton âme est douce, et bientôt viendra, où la main qui me repousse vers la mienne, c'est un...
No.
All right, good. Do it again. Fix it. Good for you.
From where?
Whatever you want.
Ulama.
That's a wonderful moment, by the way. Thank you very much.
Ulama qui me pousse.
Una main qui me repousse vers la mienne s'étendra. Ne sois pas trop tardive à te laisser attendrir. Si Rosen bientôt n'arrive,
No.
One more time. Go to the vowel.
je reste
No.
One more
Words?
time.
Je
It
vais.
doesn't matter.
là.
How you doing?
Je vais.
The thing is, if it's two different vowels and two different ways, if it's je and its own life, and I'm going to you're going to be in trouble.
Je vais.
Think of the same word. Where is the commonness in the vowels that you're going from one to the other?
Okay.
Je vais.
No, it's going to the noise. Okay.
Huh?
It's.
Yeah, don't do that. Let it release. Keep it down here. La. You did it so much in the other thing. It's not a big deal. It's just don't. What I don't want you to do is think of your voice in steps. That's my biggest problem with the idea of passaggio. Our voices aren't built in steps. It's a spiral, if anything. It's like a gyroscope.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's got its own energy that's going up and down, right? And it's just a heavier and lighter adjustment.
Okay.
Je vais, hélas, mourir.
Yeah, but now.
Soigner, hélas, mourir.
No, it's.
Yeah? Yeah, but it's because you're going like this. Just let it stay in your voice is here.
Hélas, mourir.
Yeah. And this, think oh. La. Oh.
Hélas, mourir.
If you can't immediately feel where O is when you're singing ah, your ah is too stuck. You know this yeah that we do endlessly when we start. I don't know. It's taken me a long time, but I've come to realize I think that's actually very bad. You know. And what's interesting about the, for instance, the Vakai method, the Vakai exercises, are quite wonderful. They're all in ahs and ohs. But he changes interchangeably the vowels, and he keeps the ahs and the ohs very much together, and the e's for the top, and the yao, yao, ya. That's spoken. That's going to tire you out. Ya, 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 ya. Ya, ya. So at least trade your ahs and ohs. Oh, right? Keep them as close as possible. So much about diction, especially when we're singing a language we don't speak. And you need to work with a French person on this a little bit and get some of this élan, and especially the ease of the vowels in the language, in the French language, which is wonderful. It's fine. The point of language is a conveyance of thought. And that's all it really is. I mean, as a human being, we have two options. We can write it, scribble it, pictograph it, what's in our heads, or we can say it. Not a lot of other options as expressing. And the other difference between us and animals is that we actually think about what we're going to say and reflect on being a person versus how nice it would be to be a cow, who just is a cow. And every once in a while says, moo. And it's wonderful. And we all love it. And we all feel better because the cow has said moo. But the cow doesn't ever think about, was that moo high enough? I'm feeling good about being a cow today. I think I'll moo. That's the essential difference, right? So I wouldn't get too hung up on this idea of language. Everything is essentially a metaphor of some state of being. And whether that's this guy singing under the window, the girl, or the melancholy of the destitution of Geibel, or whatever else we would look at, we make metaphors of human life audible. We sing for people. Never sing to people. Right? Never feel like you have to convince somebody of something. Well, I'm a young lad and I'm singing to my girl. She's quite nice and I really like her, and we haven't, but we might, and we're going to get married because I really love her. We hear all of that in the very first phrase you sing, whether you believe it or not. Bien-aimée, ma bien-aimée. In vain, my dearest love, do I stand here and sing because I really want to hold and see you. It's essentially what the aria is, right? And that's what we sing. And that's what I'm just trying to give you. And that all comes from release of the voice and release of who you are. And the elements of the language are like the 8th notes and the 16th notes and so on. You just have to work those out. But none of them should catch you here, and none of them should clamp your voice down. And so we find ways to awaken this feeling and knowing that every vowel we sing has every other vowel in it. It's a long column, and it's always vibrating. And some of the first things we have to, some of the basics are, what we start just kind of rolling back here. The absolute alpha and omega is, if we don't hear it before we sing it, it will not be what you want it to be. You must hear what you want us to hear. And breathe into that. And make that aware, that audible. Right? If there's anything I can give any of you today, one thing, take that one home. Write it down someplace. That's what we do. It's not actually about us. We've got timbres, we've got ideas, we can do this, you're good to look at or you're not good to look at it. All that stuff is completely secondary. What we do is we make life audible in a language called music. Right? You have so much wonderful instinct to do that. Now I just want to get some of this stuff out of your way. Don't hustle. Don't sell. You don't have to do anything. This kid, I mean, if you can imagine on stage, it's semi-dark, and he's got a thing, and he really is, very upset. He just kind of leans against the wall and doesn't move, and sings out of his heart, hoping she's listening. That might not work because of the music. He's probably pacing up and down, but he's not flailing, and he sure as hell is not talking to an audience, right? So don't do that unless that's part of who you are. Don't, as you guys start learning arias and doing auditions and so forth, there's nothing you can do to the aria that will be better than singing the aria. Just sing. With your wonderful instinct to sing, and now I've made you aware of a couple of things that are really positive. What I love is you checking yourself on two things, and right? Voice is here. We don't take a breath and slam it against something. Just make yourself sound, right? It's beautiful. Good stuff. Thank you.